Hello, greetings, salutations, and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to be going over the Siege gigantic, amazingly huge Skyfire, or Jetfire as he's called on the box. Now, I know what a lot of you are probably thinking, which do I prefer, Jetfire or Skyfire? Well, let me get that out of the way, since I said it first. Skyfire, because that's what he was in the show. I know there was a whole huge legal dispute about the entirety of the name and the fact that this was originally a Macross toy, but we can cover that some other time. Right now, I just want to sit here and talk about Skyfire, and he is one hell of an awesome looking toy. I mean, they spared no expense in the look department, making this look just like the original show. And I love it. I love every aspect of it. I love how just large this is. We've seen several different Skyfire molds over the years, and this one, I think this one's the absolute best because it comes the closest to capturing the original G1 feel. I mean, just look at him. Look at how how detailed this is by comparison to the different Skyfire figures that were done. Now, all gushing aside, let's go into detail about the figure. The motion, you see how clicky it is. The arms come down very lovely, because he could just stand there and just, give the fist pound, like, yo, I'm here, I'm there. And he's like, word. He's got the motion. The hands, they come out, sorry. They rotate very well. And I like how the hand here, you see this? It fully comes out. It's kind of like the combiner hands from the Combiner Wars figures where only 4 figures move at a time. But I'm fine with that. Because what's also cool about this is that, let me show you here. I can show you, you see where the hand is, right? Look at that there. Close that up, and that's where the weapon port is. Open it up, it's gone. Close it, it's out. So that's pretty unique. Don't really see that in these figures like this. Now, you can tell both hands have the motion, and it is incredibly clicky. Let me put that back for the sake of transformation. We will get into that later. Let's get to the back of this figure. He's got it's very backpack heavy, but then that's what Skyfire was in the show. He had this huge backpack, so he was a jet. There's no concealing this whatsoever. I love how the exhaust ports are right here beneath, so it's like he looks like he can fly pretty well if he's in robot mode or if he's in jet mode, which I can't wait to show you. Anywho, the arms, I like how it's kind of got like football shoulders here. He's kind of like the ultimate halfback or the ultimate fullback, or if you want him to be, he's the ultimate quarterback. Because ain't no Decepticon football team going to bum rush this dude. He's going to just crash through them. Yeah, I want to see that, Hasbro. I want to see Skyfire on a football team. I really want to see it. So, let's go into the wings. The wings are extremely hard plastic. I mean, the whole thing is just, it's got some serious heft to it. The legs are well designed. He looks like he's wearing these proper dress shoes. And you don't see that in a bot this big. For something this big, you'd think, military-esque, but no. He looks like he's all proper. He can walk into any dinner party and say, excuse me, I'm here to see Optimus. Yes, he's at table number 4. Thank you. It's just the detail. It's so smooth. Let's go into the legs. See how that bends very well. Comes all the way out. Well, sorry, just about all the way out. Let's move this arm up. If you lift the skirt flap up a little bit, he can come out, so he can do a full split. And this has a very decent range of motion. Comes out here, so you can get that pose going on. You can do the whole, Zen sitting pose, kinda, sorta Zen. But this big guy, he's not all about Zen. Although the fun thing about this, I say that, and he kind of really was Zen-ish because he preferred being a scientist. You wouldn't think, again, a guy that looks like this being a scientist, but he was. He was a scientist on Cybertron, you know, formerly best friends with Starscream until, well, you know, crashing on the Earth. And I think that was a decent backstory. Now, I haven't dived into the IDW comics or any other comic incarnation of Skyfire, so I honestly couldn't tell you what the comics were about. But right here, I can say that this is, in my opinion, one of the better looking Skyfire figures we've ever gotten. And I haven't gotten the others, so I really can't do a comparison to the others. But, you know, if you go by all the different versions, they don't really come close to the animation style look that this one has. Oh, and before I forget, for those who are fans of the original animation, this came with a nifty little bonus. Right here, in the center of him, you can actually flip the Autobot symbol. It's very difficult because I don't have nails. But take my word for it. There we go. Flip it around, and bam, Decepticon symbol. For those of you who want to play out the, you know, the fantasy that when he started off with Decepticons and switched to the Autobots. And let's move that head back in place. Head is on a nice little swivel. It can go all the way around. And let's look at that head. Let's look at how detailed that is. Like, very, very, very well done. I love the blackness around the eyes, how the sculpt is with the blue paint along the head. Nice little tiny, looks like visor-esque in the helmet, and it's almost a Mega Man style helmet. Almost. And it's very, very, very easy to move, so you don't have that problem. And the facial sculpt, nice painted silver here. Very well detailed, kind of nice metallic thing going on there. Oop, there we go, arm clicky. And you'll find that this, when you get yours, this is very, very clicky. Like, I'm trying not to move it too much. And I usually like to keep it in robot mode because it's just so awesome to look at. He really is. He's just amazing. So, back to this. Now, I'm going to show you all this awesome weaponry he came with. You see this? This is the Backpack of Doom. It looks like a tiny little ship on its own. Let's move him out of the way and talk about the backpack. Oops, and the backpack fall apart. Backpack fall. Let's see. Let's put this back in place. This has guns all over it. I mean, look at this. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. This looks like something out of, like, the ultimate armor piece out of Space Invaders or Galaga or something like that. Because this is like something I could see straight out of a video game, I swear. Now, the original Skyfire toy, I should mention, the original Jetfire did not come with a crap ton of weaponry. But I think what they did was, this is to pay homage to the Macross look it had before. So you can actually make it your Jetfire from the past, you know, toy line, or you can make it your Skyfire from the original TV show, depending on what your preference is. Do you prefer Jetfire or do you prefer Skyfire? Let me know in the comments below. But let's show you all these different weapons. We have this right here. That comes off there. Now we're going to slide this off. Like that, just like that. And we're going to do the same here. Have that, and we're going to take these apart, and we have the big old guns. Now, this right here is his chest shield. See, this piece here was very tricky, and I had to loosen it, this here. So basically, you lift this up, and the mask comes right out of the center. You just push it from the back, and there's the mask. And this is very nice. It's got a little bit of light piping in the visor, I believe. And let's get a little bit of closer feel to it. That is a beautiful looking face. And that pops right onto Skyfire's face, which we will do in a little bit. But I'm going to show you just a few of these weapons. Sorry for the empty background. And there we go. So, one of my personal favorites is this one here, which you can fit right there on the side. And he's got the plasma cannon, arm cannon, bang bang, shoot shoot. Let's put one on this side too. See that little peg hole right there? That goes right there. And Put that right in there, and it's shooting time. He can aim in any direction. And he is ready to get it on. He is ready to shoot down some Decepticons. Now, let's put the Autobot symbol back because not a big fan of when he was a Decepticon. There we go, just like that. It's a little tight, so I'm going to let you know now when you get yours. Just be at the ready. Now, let's see. These, the guns. These here. You can do this one of two ways. You can have this big bulky gun right here. So you can do this like this. Oops. So you can do this like this. Come on, fit in there. There you go. And you've got that. This is usually the gun of choice. This is like what he had in the show way back when, in the 80s. So this is my go-to gun for choice. It's the one I tend to rock with. But there is more. There is more to it. Let's remove the gun. Sorry, not the whole hand. It just likes to stay in there. It likes to stay in there because it doesn't want to come out. There we go. These things get tight in there really easily. So it's very difficult to lose for all those people who... You hear a lot of driving in the background. Please forgive that. I am in New York after all. Ooh, clicky. But if you want to see what else those guns can do, let's back him up a bit. And these break apart like chopsticks. And you can put one in either hand, which is very, very nice. Now, let's see if we can't bring this down a bit. Give me a second. And we have that. So, you can put these in either hand. So, you can put one in this hand. You got to keep it closed so you can actually have the... there we go, like that. And... like that, have another. So you can have dual laser rifles. And frankly, I think this is pretty damn good. I think this looks pretty freaking awesome. So let's put this back on him. Right on the side there. Bam. So now he's got more pistol action. He's got more guns ablazing. But that's not all. We've got the wings to consider ourselves with. So, see these little guns right here? These are going to go up top, up there. So we're going to bring this out like so. And we're going to bring this out like so. And we're going to put... See that little hole in there? Y'all see that right there? We're going to put... put it up like that. Or, you can do that. One thing I like to do is have it like that. And I know that's not normally the case. But I like to have this as a display because it looks a little bit more menacing. Like that. Like there. Now, normally that's not done. That's not normally done, but it is your toy. When you get it, do what you want with it. I think the normal configuration that most people will tend to do is we take the guns off the sides here. See, if you didn't see that, I will show you right here. This gun, these come off like that. And it's the smaller ones that tend to go up here and fit in a little bit more smoothly. Like that. You can have them that way. So you've got guns ablazing there too. And there you have him armored up. But wait, we are forgetting something. We are forgetting something crucial. Yes, we is. You see this here, the shield, it's got to go on there. But it's not going to fit by itself. No, 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 no. So what's going to happen is I'm going to flip open these two panels here There's two panels right here like this and like that that open up. So we're gonna open up those and we're gonna stick this on. Now, to let you know, these are very difficult to open unless you've got maybe a thumbnail. If you got like really tight nails, really thick nails, or maybe a little screw to put in between there, it's very, very tight. So we're going to, now you see these little grooves here, right there, a little groove there. They are going to slot into these. They're now I've never. Let's see, just like that. Are we going to find our place? Let's see. Okay, slot it. There we go. Just like that. Now, we've got him, and now the only thing that remains is the faceplate. Where'd I put you? This is the faceplate, so we're just gonna slot that in right there. And bam, just like that. And now you've got what I like to call the Jetfire edition. Before, he was looking like Skyfire from the animated series, and now this is more akin to what we would call Jetfire. And I gotta say, it looks absolutely amazing still. It loses no posability whatsoever, and his statuesque dominance over the other figures in the Siege line is just beautiful. It's something pleasing to look at. It's something pleasing to play with. And the shielding is just something I never would expect to look so good. Forgive the gush, but I just like this. Now, I'm going to put you just like that. Bang. He's got the guns. He's got the means to put you in your timeout, in your punishment, whichever you want. And in a moment, we are going to get him transformed. But first, let's get all this armor off him. He's beautiful, I know, and I could spend hours talking about all the aesthetics of this alone. But the other part of what we want to see the jet mode. So let's get to transformation momentarily. Okay, we are back, and he is now de-weaponized. Let's move these back a bit. Forgot about that part. Now, all this is back in its normal, back in the normal positioning. All these weapons are back into place. So, we are going to now transform him into his jet mode. And if you're not careful, this can get a little bit complicated, but not too much. Where do we begin? All right, so I think what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start in the upper body, as most of us do. Close these back up. And what we're going to do is going to put the arms aside. A little bit of clearance there. I'm going to lift these up, just like, they pop right up, just like that. And you're going to see his empty chest. We don't want that for too long. So this comes right out, just like that. A little tricky sometimes, but just be careful you don't put too much force so you don't break it. And you're going to notice, as the head, as you do this, because you have to lift it, the head is going to fit right there nice and snugly inside the backpack, which I think is kind of unique. So let's bring that up. Slide these down. And that comes all the way up. Let's move the camera up so you can see just how high that thing is. That is a beaut. That is a major beaut. So, I'm going to lift the nose cone all the way up like that. And the arms are going to go in. Now we have to bring this back down a bit so you can see what I do with the arms. Please forgive the shakiness of my camera. I hope you guys like the green screen. It'll be used in a skit that I'll be doing later. Or, future skits. So, now, all this here, we're going to bring this over. Now, that arm, that nice clicky arm right there, we're going to take this and we're going to peel that back. And we're going to pull this out like that. That's what could be landing gear, but we're not going to use it as that. Slide that in, just like that. And the other side, exact same thing. I'm going to peel that out, just like that. We're going to, sorry about that. So like that, pull that out like that. And my hands are huge, so please forgive me if you don't see certain things done, but it's going to be just like the first one. Slide in just like that. Now, that's done. So we're going to take these joints here in the arms like that, and we're going to just kind of swivel that in there like that, nice and clicky. So it pushes all the way in. Now for this one, same thing. We're going to take this and we're just going to kind of push that in same way, slide that in so it's nice and strapped in tight there. And we're going to have the arms down like that, legs straight. Now, doesn't look like much of a robot, does he? So we take this, bring that back a little bit for some clearance, and that's coming in like that way. And just like that. Now we're going to slide this down so that it's able to connect. Now, same thing on this side. All the way up there. Bring that back a bit. Just like that. And where is that? That's slid down too. Now, here's the funny thing that some don't tell you. I'm going to go back. You see that hole in there? That hole is going to connect to this. Where is it? This peg. Please forgive the horns in the background. That is going to connect to this peg. So that hole. Sorry. New Yorkers, man. What can I tell you? I'm not going to edit that out. Just so you know. That hole. That peg. So the same thing is on this side too. So just so you make sure that the arms lock into place like that. Bam. Just like that. See? So this way you know the arms are secure. Now let's bring this back up a bit. And you can see now this here is going to come down a bit. So we're going to bring that over, and bring that down. Same thing. Pull that back and over, bring it down. Now, there's some connections in there that are also very difficult to see. Like, for example, let's bring it around here. See these little nubs right here? That and that one right there, if you can see it. They are going to... Let's see if I can find where. They're kind of... It's not even that. Sorry, that's not what I was looking at. It's these. Where are you? Yeah, here we go. Now, let's bring that down. Where are you? There we go. Okay, so it's a very difficult hole to see. Now, right there, if you could see where my nail is, that little slot right there is going to be connecting onto this little nub, this little connector right here, and it's going to be the same exact thing for the other side. Please take my word for it. So we need to slide that down and slide that down. So I'm going to bring the camera down. It's easier when you lay him down to do this. Like that. Now, let's bring this down like that. Now, bring this back a bit. See here? We're going to connect those, and it's going to be a little bit tricky. Oh, and one more connection I did not mention. See that little, this right here, my finger is right here on it, like that. That is going to connect into this peg right here, this hole, right, that long strip right there. So we want to be very careful about that. Make sure it fits in just like that, and it did well. Normally it doesn't like to behave, but I got it in there. Same on the other side. We got to make sure that it fits. Now, it's very difficult to see even on camera, so I'm going to let you know now. Right there, let's see. It's in there, but it's hard for me to focus on it. So just got to bring it down a bit, just like that, and it locks in. See? Now these aren't wobbly, they're not wibbly wobbly, so they're there. Now the wings. The wings are going to come out like this. Very simple. And there's a tab underneath the wing, like that. So there's big old Pete. Sorry. There's a tab right there that's going to come down, just like that. And then this part of the wing is going to come up. There, just like that. See? And the other wing is the exact same thing. Same thing on the other wing. We're going to bring this up like that. Bam. 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 Just like that. And now he's looking like a big old boy. Let's bring this camera right back up because I'm going to do a lot of camera work on this puppy. Look at that. That looks like a nice little statue. A winged statue. So in order to bring the... Now, you're going to take a good hold of these wings and just bring them down like that. And you can feel them lock into place just like that. And he stands pretty well. He actually keeps his positioning just like that. Now, here's the fun part. We're going to work on the legs now. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to take this here. See this leg? There are actually doors in the legs like this. So what you got to do is, this is where the hinges are. So you can basically see where the doors are. But first, let's fold that back leg up, fold the leg down. Same thing, fold the back leg in, fold that down. Very simple. So now the doors on the legs are a little bit tricky for me because, again, I do not have sharp nails. So what I do is I tend to go in like that, pull the door out, and there you go. That's where the rocket exhaust is hidden. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to lock that back first, sorry, like that, boom, and it locks right into place. Same thing on the other side. Where are you, my friend? Where are you? I'm going to take that there, like that. See that leg there? And like that. It's, like I said, it's a lot easier if you have sharp nails. Like that. And you just turn it around and lock it into place. Lock you. There. Now, the legs are on they want to transform. They don't want to wait for me to explain that these legs are on an accordion hinge. Like that, see? Kind of like the aerial bots of Combiner Wars. So you just slide that in just like that. Boom. And slide that in just like that. Boom. Now the legs aren't going to lock into anything here. So what you do is you're going to have this. In order to keep the legs steady, what you do is you take this whole back assembly here and you slide it up like that and bring it down. Just like that. Now, the legs lock into position by the exhaust ports here, and they come together just like that. So now the legs will be steady. And here we have him in his jet mode. And this is an amazing jet mode, just like the original series. He looks just like he did when he transformed that one time when he had to chase down Starscream. And it is a beautiful mode. I mean, I could stare at this for hours. It is so immaculate, so detailed. I love the way the red and the white work off each other so beautifully. Some things are just not tight. There we go. Locked in. Told you about that before because you got to lock those into place. Oh, fun feature. If you wanted, before I get into all the super detail, the nose cone can come down. And if you wanted, bam, there's the engine right in there. Let's pull that out because take that out, and you could fit a Titan Master in there. Ain't that awesome? Ain't that cute? So he has a place for somebody if they wanted to ride. Now, in you go. Now, this is one of my favorite figures for numerous reasons. I'm so glad I picked up this toy. Now, the wings, very, very detailed. I love how it's not too designy, not too flashy. It's just cartoon accurate in so many ways. Let's bring this back up because I forgot about you. Naughty little thing. How dare you embarrass me on camera. Now then. It is so well detailed. I mean, look at this thing. I think in terms of looks, the only thing that rivals this to me, if anybody remembers Gatchaman, the jet from that series was great. The Phoenix, I believe they called it in English. You know, in terms of looks of overall jets, the Seekers are good. Don't get me wrong. The Seekers, Starscream, Thundercracker, Skywarp, those jet designs are really good based off F-16s, but this is unique in its own way. This is just so well put together. Is it perfect? Not at all. I'm not going to gush and tell you, all the good without the bad. I mean, look at here. You've got, this is kind of open, like the original, unlike the original series, it shows all the pieces, but then it's excusable. I can deal with it. And another thing I can deal with, it's got these little handles. You can put some figures on. You can put some amazing figures on to hold amazing figures. I think I said amazing a little bit more than, what's his phrase, from Team Samurai. Sam. I think I say amazing a little too much. I need to stop. I need to cut back. Anyway, shout out to Team Samurai. Love their Yu-Gi-Oh page. Now, the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff is awesome. Now, right here, look at the top of this. Right here. Let's just zoom in close. Autobot symbol's right there. Now, a lot of people thought should be here, but I prefer it here. This makes more sense to me, I think. And it's got all your basic... It's got the ports. It's got the ports for the weaponry here. It's got the ports for the weaponry on the rings. Now, if you look at here... underneath the wing, like that, you could pull this up and have a weapon there. And no, don't worry, that's not broken. It's supposed to do that. Because we're going to bring it right back and lock right back into place. See? It's not broken. It's supposed to do that. All the wings, both wings do the same thing. So in any case, I don't want to sit here and gush all day long, but this Jetfire is amazing. And you can fit his backpack of doom, backpack of murder, or however you want to call it, right on there. It looks very smooth. You could also separate the weapons and put them in any port you desire. I will leave that up to you. But let's get on to one other thing I've noticed I want to show you. There's landing gear in here. Trust me, there is. Right here, it is very tricky to get out. I don't want to risk breaking it or scratching it. But do I have nails? Do I have nails? My nails. Wait, I had you. Almost. Let's get that little nail in there, and boom, just like that, landing gear. Boom. I like that little unique touch. The landing gear there. That is sweet. Let's put that right there, and bam. Landing gear. Makes them a little bit smoother. Makes them hold better. I like that. I liked it a lot. Now, let's get into some size comparisons. Okay, size comparison time. And before I begin, one thing I forgot to mention while he was in vehicle mode is another thing you can do for having people ride on underneath him is you can slide these out. This right here. And this would be on his belt. And you can pull that out. And if you want, your own imagination, have those as little guns. Or have these as ports, things to hang on to for your bots while they're in the air. So all types of flying animation and such. So let's bring out some big ones because the small ones just don't compare. We're going to start with Combiner Wars Superion. And I'm going to see how big that boy is. He's very tall by comparison. The only reason Superion even comes close to his height is because I happen to have the Perfect Effect upgrades, as you can see, for the hands on Superion and the feet, as you saw in my Superion review. Let's bring out another. Let us bring out Combiner Wars, aka Unite Warriors Defensor. Right there. And Defensor is looking pretty beefy alongside him. Forgive that motorcycle. Again, I live in New York and just, you know, people don't realize this is a residential neighborhood and they can't be making all that noise. Anyway. Let's bring this to the side here like that. But yeah, my man is as tall as your average combiners. Ain't that amazing? So you want something this tall but doesn't have multiple pieces, get you a Skyfire, aka Jetfire. I'm gonna bring in one more. Gonna bring in Victorion. If you've seen her from my first review, she's every bit, he's just a little bit, he out-heights her just a little bit. And Legends class, well, I believe it's Legends class. This is Siege Optimus. And as you can see, he's pretty small by comparison to them. And as far as the height of my man Skyfire here, he's right there. He's maybe about just under half his height. So yeah, that is the size of things. So there you have Siege Jetfire. Is he worth the price point? Hell yes he is. He's amazing. He's super large. He's super in charge. And for your Transforms collection, I say he's an absolute must-have. Very worthwhile toy to get. And I am so thankful to the Kingdom of Bonhomme, whom I got this from. For all you people in New York, go check out his webpage. There will be a link in the description below. Check out his work. He sells some awesome Transformers amongst many other different kinds of toys. Star Wars, Transformers, Power Rangers, you name it. My man has got it, and he will hook you up. Tell him Jason sent you, aka Kylo the NESMAN. But that'll be my time for now. This has been one of my longest, most exhausting reviews, but very well worth it. Stay tuned for a skit coming up later on today or tomorrow, depending on when I post it. I do apologize, it's just been a long day. But this is Kylo the NESMAN saying, remember, growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. Childhood into adulthood, brotherhood and sisterhood. I love it all, and I love you all. Peace!